Hello everyone, Vita's Fruity back again. Today I'm going to do the, as promised, uh, look at what is going on with all these scammers on Kickstarter, an update on the Hall of Fame inductees. First of all, Brandon Kirk, who I discovered recently had scammed more people through Realm of Cards. And he tried again with absolute zero. Those were for Thrones playing cards on Realm of Cards, and a Martini deck, which was through absolute zero. And he's also he had an account through his own name, Brandon Kirk, and one through Quad City Cards. Both of those have been deleted. The first scam was the Celtic Not Playing Cards, which was funded back in 2013. More recently was the Game of Thrones deck, which was funded in July 2015, last July. So far, as far as I know, people still waiting for stuff. They've been scammed. Really, the only reason to create 4 different accounts under 4 different names and different projects is that there's only one reason, that's to scam people. The original account and his Quad City accounts have both been deleted. Again, I don't understand how Kickstarter allows people to close their accounts when they have not delivered their project or finished delivering their project. That should not be allowed. I don't know why Kickstarter allows that to happen. His most recent project, of course, was the Martini playing cards. That was last November, I believe it was. And as soon as I saw the name Brandon Kirk on the account, a light went off in my head. I went back and I was able to see that he had done the Celtic Not Playing cards that he screwed people over on. And I immediately pledged a buck and told people, scam alert, get away, this guy's a scammer. He scammed people on their accounts. But yeah, it wasn't until recently I discovered he had done the same thing with the Thrones playing cards. So that is that. The last update I see from him was in July 2015, a month after the Thrones project was funded. He was offering more extra decks available through PayPal, which I would not do. And he hasn't been seen since November of last year when he tried that other project. I don't think that he's been around since then. So that is that one. Next up, I got Lords playing cards. Since the problems with the individual playing cards, that was the name of the deck, individual, yay. Since the problems with that one, which was complaints of poor quality and poor customer service and poor artwork, they have funded another deck, which is Luxuriosa in December 2015, and no other problems noted with that one, so I guess it's fine. Other projects have not funded. Oh boy, here's a big one. Eric Mana. Eric Mana, who of course is still owing people a lot of decks in his Mana Sybil playing card project and possibly some in the Buskers. I know there's a lot of pissed off people. The last update in the Buskers project was in the December 2015. He was changing the fulfillment. Last update on the Sybil was in April 2016. And there's just been a lot of slow progress. A lot of blame on fulfillment and whatnot. Not a lot of responsibility taken from his end, it seems. People are getting tired of the updates because they're really not updates. It's just still going, still progress, blah, blah. That's not an update. People want answers, they want decks, they want updates, they want something, concrete. Well, his last login was also in April, so he's still around. But I guess that was the last time he updated. He's just checking in periodically just to make sure that people are still there, I guess. Roy Rizzo, who I misspelled, it's 2 Z's, not 1. He had, of course, the Umbra Obscura playing cards. Apparently, many people are still waiting. I was fortunately able to get mine after a lot of fussing and cursing on Facebook. Well, I wasn't really cursing, but just a lot of messaging him and putting my foot down, and I finally got mine. But people are still waiting. His last update was in April 2016, and he was last online in May. So he's still around. Saint Tyree. The Call of Cthulhu playing cards. We had well over $100,000. The last update was in January of this year. That's months ago. On problems with the tarot tuck case, or tuck cases. Apparently there's still a lot of people waiting and upset. He was last online April 2016, despite the fact that his last update was only in January, which is like 6 months ago. A little bit ridiculous. Next up, Nathaniel Mortensen. Problems with all his projects. The Bicycle Steampunk Beginnings, another steampunk deck that he did, Kingdoms of a New World, his Dragon's Horde game, a second Kingdoms of a New World project. People waiting for stuff everywhere. I was actually surprised a couple months ago, when I actually got mine in the mail. Of course, this after I spent extra money buying the Bicycle Steampunk Beginnings from Albino Dragon. Not thrilled with that. No updates since a year ago. His last updates were May, June, and August of 2015 on the 3 different projects. But he did just log in this month in May 2016, or last month I guess it is. It's June right now, but he did log in May. So he's still around. This is something I've noticed with a lot of these creators. They're sitting on projects. They're sitting on fulfillment. They're not doing anything. But they're logging in. They're checking out their accounts for some reason. I don't understand why. Next on the list, Darren Gendron of the Sealy playing cards. It's like a fairy themed deck. There's been no updates, no refunds, no product. The website is no longer around. The last update was still back in January of 2015. That's well over a year ago, despite the fact that he promised monthly updates. His last login, though, was April 2016. Next up, Juan Solorzano. Not much to mention on this one. He seems to have disappeared. There's been no updates since February 2015. And his last login was May 2015. That was for the Alice of Wonderland playing cards. It's had lots of issues. Next up, Reagan McLellan, which most are probably not familiar with. He had a steampunk deck back in 2012. There's been no updates, activity, or comments. Last update was April 2013. Last login November 2015. As far as I can tell, there's still some people that might be waiting. I don't know. Kickstarter. I got Kickstarter on the list. Apparently, they're no longer doing crowdfunding on Kickstarter.com. They are selling the previously funded decks. And that's all there is to report on that one. Russell Kurtoval, Circle City Cards. No updates since October 2013. However, he did log in May 2016. Just a couple of weeks ago. Which I think is pretty weird. I know some people actually did receive the whatchamacallit, not the Bicycle Quicksilver. I have it right there. Some people did end up receiving the Bicycle Quicksilver as of like early this year, late last year. I never received mine, probably because of things like this, but I don't care. He deserves to be named and shamed. He also apparently scammed Gambler's Warehouse. It was going to sell them artwork for some of their decks, like the Quicksilver and the Brimstone and the Americana, and apparently did not deliver, but they managed to get the artwork anyway. So yeah, still around, but he still doesn't give a crap. Um, I got Benji Taylor on the list, but I removed him theoretically from the list. But apparently, as of August last year, there was still some people waiting, but I haven't seen any comments of anyone still waiting this year. Alex Willis definitely deserves to be on the list. He had the Victorian Adventure and Michael Fromer 1616 bicycle decks. Oh, look. It's garbage. It's the garbage truck. Last updates were late 2013. I don't even have him off. It just says late 2013. He's been missing since January 2014. Never produced either deck that I can tell. I haven't seen him anywhere. So he scanned people on 2 different projects over $16,000, and he's gone. Christina Bad Hand. Like, that was a good name to back. She's already giving you herself a bad name with a name like that. The last update was in July 2015 with more apologies. She actually sold an image of a deck, one single deck, which proves absolutely nothing other than she produced a sample prototype deck and is trying to pass it off as being the actual product. If she had showed us, a crate of decks or, a couple of boxes of decks, that would have been different. But showing one deck just to go, look, there's a product. It's been delivered. It does nothing. She has not had any updates since, like I said, since July of 2015. Nobody has received any of these decks that I know of. The Lakota playing cards, I have not seen them anywhere. Last login, though, was March 2016, so she's still around. Apparently she works as a teacher somewhere. I don't remember where. Alien Inc., Alien Slink, Jeremiah Deslons. I've actually found another name, Sebastian Brenes. I wrote it on there. I like to call them Alien Stink. Nothing happening with their last projects. Last updates were May, 2016, on one of them. The other one was February 2016 on August 2015, I guess. Last login was May 2016, so he's still kicking around, one of them anyways, or both of them. Website, of course, is no longer around. Some people still waiting for the wine deck. The last delivery update was in February 2016 on that. Last update in the Elements deck was in August 2015. I don't think anything's ever been produced. And there's still problems as well with the Flowers Infinity Edition. But that's what you get for giving them like $25 for a deck. Just because there's only like 100 being produced or whatever. Next up, Noel Creel's TPX Designs. Website has disappeared. There's nothing new to report. He hasn't had any updates since July 2014. In fact, he deleted his account. There's another one that for some reason was allowed to delete his account despite the fact that he never produced a Bicycle Meridian project, and there's still some issues with the King of Kings. I know I never received mine. Yekwa. I said, fuck yeah. Last update, October 2014. Last login was September 2015. Seems to be largely unfulfilled. There's nothing new to report. This is for the Bicycle Dragon Dynasty, which I had a lot of issues with this one. I commented on it. I was, verbal about it. But apparently, the creator didn't want to listen, and now I can see why. He didn't give a crap. He took the money, and that was it. But I do believe you can find those on eBay if you really want. Next up, I got Elite Playing Cards / Wayne Greco. Apparently, there's somebody else running it now. I did not write I was going to write their name, but I didn't. They're still active. I see there's still some issues with the Bicycle Collectors deck and the Excellence deck, with people still waiting for them. One thing I noticed as well, the last project, which is the Bicycle Seek, which I will be reviewing soon, only had about a third of the backers from the previous projects, like 600 somewhat backers. whereas before they were getting like 1700 backers. So that's quite a drop, but that's still a humongous amount of backers. For the most part, they're doing okay. Many of the reasons why I had them on the list was because of what they did with the artists known as Cardicians back then, now known as Safe Sifters playing cards. They were not getting paid for the work. There was fulfillment problems on those ones, and they just seemed to, not give a crap. It's somebody else's account, somebody else's name, so who cares? It's somebody else's reputation. It's not affecting Elite playing cards, so screw them. But yeah, it all on Elite playing cards, really. Next up, Brian Castello / Man-Made Games. Again, why would you give money to somebody with a name like that? They seem like they're all about the money. He's been MIA since, actually, he logged in April 2016, but there's no progress, no updates since January 2014. That is for the All Jokers Transformational deck, which you probably have to look up, because you probably never heard of it. Nothing produced or anything like that. No. The websites don't seem to be working anymore. Thorough Playing Card Company. Nothing really new to report here with this one. Website is long gone. This is for the Bicycle Heads, Bicycle Inferno, or Dante's Inferno decks. I did get screwed over on the Dante's Inferno, but I managed to get it later on elsewhere. I really regret not checking out his Bicycle Heads project before pledging for the Dante's Inferno, because had I seen that he was not delivering to people, A, I would not have pledged for it, and B, I would have warned people about it and told them to stay away, and maybe he wouldn't have funded. But unfortunately, that did not happen. One thing I'd like to let you know about is that he's actually using our money that we pledged to pledge for other projects. And as far as I'm concerned, I would not accept the money from this creator if I was running a project. I would say, no, screw you. I'll refund you right now. Adam Clarkson, Circle City Cards. I'm still waiting on a refund. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Last update was May 2013. Last login, November 2014. There's nothing new to report. Circle City Cards to be renamed Con City Cards. Dean Liu. This is another one I had a lot of issues with. I was verbal on the projects, but it's still funded after a few different attempts. That was for the Bicycle Twins Edition playing cards, also previously known as Black Edition, or BE. There's nothing really new to report. The last update was September 2015. It's only for backers, so I don't know what it says. Last login was October 2015. It hasn't been active in almost a year now. Apparently, Gambler's Warehouse also screwed over. They're still waiting for product. As far as I can tell, nothing was ever produced. I've never seen any of these decks anywhere. So, next up, Beta 17. Ethan Soper and Patrick Burke, another. That was for the Ultraviolet playing cards. Again, another one I got screwed over on. However, I was fortunate that there was a backer that got a brick, and he was more than willing to split it with a few other backers to get people, some of what they paid for at least. I was able to get 2 decks for him, so very much appreciated. There's been no updates or anything since the last update was June 2014. There's been no updates. Website's dead. However, he did log in May of 2016 this year, which is kind of strange. Next up, I got Aether Cards and BM Poker World, aka Alex Isaacs and Michael Ferrante. Still people, as far as I know, waiting for the Vortex decks from Aether Cards. Of course, the Aether Cards website is now playingcardforum.com and is run by somebody else. Alex has largely disappeared. And the last update actually was the final update in 2013. January 2014. It's hidden, so I can't read it. As far as Michael Ferrante is concerned, bmpokerworld.com is long gone. It was bought up by Gambler's Warehouse and the website no longer exists. And strangely enough, he actually logged into his Kickstarter in February 2016. Now, he did not screw anyone over. However, I like to mention him because he used to run UnitedCardist.com, and of course Alex used to run AForCards.com, which is now Playing Card Forum. They're both the big owners of the forums, and not too. Alex, of course, had success with the Vortex deck, but ended up screwing people over. As for Michael Ferrante, he had the Bicycle Grungeline deck, which failed twice on Kickstarter, despite the fact that he was Mr. Know-It-All and trying to tell everyone how to run their projects. So I like to mention it because of that. Fail. Next up, Department of Design. John Slavic and Stephen Gear. That was for the Founders playing cards. There actually was a parody deck of that, which was not successful, called the Flounders, which had dogs. That was by Robert Tomlinson. Anyways, there's nothing new on this one. The website is apparently still active, if you want to count that as active. Some people are claiming that he's being protected by Barack Obama and friends because he works for them, but I don't think that's the case. If people feel that way, all they have to do is take it to court, and the guy will pay. But if nobody takes him to court, he's not going to pay. Next up, David Siddall. Last update was November 2014, where he made an update boasting that he was going to produce the decks. They're going to be USPC made. He was going to put up the rest of the money to get it produced, but then he disappeared. There's been no update since November 2014. He's been MIA, missing in action, since November 2014. He's disappeared. Nothing new to report. And that was for the Diamond Cut cards, by the way. But yeah, really disappointed with that one. Next up, Dan Chris / DKG Games, or Dan Chris Games. Last update, April 2016. Last login, I guess, was at that point. Actually, I have last update May 2016 now. Apparently he's still sipping. And he claims to have gotten funds and has gotten Liberty playing cards, which is Gambler's Warehouse. I don't know why he referred to it as Liberty playing cards. But he has apparently gotten the funds to get Liberty or Gambler's Warehouse to fulfill the product. And is planning a relaunch of a gaming project that he did not make it at some point in time in the future. Another thing that I noted is apparently he traveled to several conventions despite having money issues to sell his deck, which is kind of weird. But anyways, the biggest takeaway from this one is this guy did not have any source of income. He did not have a job. He's disabled. And he decided to do a project, and then he completely screwed up on shipping costs, and then he had no funding to back it up. If you don't have a stable income coming in, don't create a Kickstarter project unless you're going to make sure everything is good in the math department. Well, look, Kickstarter, Perry Chen, Yancey, Strickler, and Charles Adler, they definitely deserve to be on the list. Of course, they are still aiding and abetting creators who are scamming backers. And as far as I'm concerned, they should be charged with a criminal crime, because they know full well that there's creators who are scamming backers and have been doing so for years. And that is aiding and abetting as far as I'm concerned. And that is that. One day, I do think that Kickstarter will be the victim of a lawsuit, a civil class action lawsuit. It's just going to take one really massive project to screw them over. Next up, Brett Dudo. Um, this was for the Bicycle Royal Wilderness playing cards. It's had a different name originally. Um, I don't remember what it was. Last login was apparently December 2014. Last update, August 2014. Apparently it has fulfilled, but there's been no comments or updates since 2015. There's been no comments from people since 2015, but it appears that some never received the projects, at least in 2015. And the creator has disappeared for 2 years now. Now, the creator did actually contact me on Facebook or via email and offered to send me a deck with the Royal Wilderness playing cards, but then he did not. I would have been happy to receive it and to review it, but he decided not to do that. Next up, Timothy Newell. However you pronounce that. I can never pronounce that. There's nothing new to report. The website is gone. As for the Bicycle Corp playing cards, he has apparently been MIA since September 2013. That was the last update. Apparently, he has gone to Hawaii since then and bought a MacBook computer. So that's where our money is going, apparently. Well, I mean, to be fair, he did produce the cards, but apparently he has not found the time or the money to finish shipping them out. I know some people did get them, obviously, and I was able to get one via eBay at some point in time, but I'm still waiting for the one that I paid him for. One or two, whatever it was. Next up, Chris Cavill. The last update was in July 2015. That was for the type deck. And he was last logged in May 2016. Apparently some people were still waiting, but it seems to have been largely fulfilled for the most part, so not a total bust, I guess. It did take a very long time to get from point A to B to C. It took a very long time to get it produced. I mean, this was funded in July 2013. It wasn't produced until like 2015 or 2016. I did, of course, get mine, so I'm happy with that. But some people apparently not so lucky. I got also Sao Young Hong, aka Asram. There's been no activity in the comment section since November 2014 and no new updates. There was only like 2 people that actually commented that they did not receive the product. They may have received it since, I don't know. As far as I can tell, they probably just got lost in the mail, and it happens. So that one's off the list. Cardissons off the list. That, of course, used to be Cardissons, of course, is now Shapeshifters playing cards. They had the Bicycle Mystique currently on Kickstarter, which I do recommend checking out. Apparently, people are still waiting for some of the Cardissons playing cards products, whether it's the Bicycle Steel or the Mayhem or the Bicycle Dark Templar. But that is all on Elite playing cards on their ass, because they're the ones who were running that project page and not paying the creators and just taking the money. It's ridiculous. It's bullshit. And we got AK Graphics / Anna's Cassat. That was for the Stealth playing card. Last update November 2015. Last login May 2016. Some people have apparently gotten refunds since. Most problems seem to have been resolved. The last update, November 2015, was on a Cyber Monday sale. I did manage to get one from Gambler's Warehouse, which I kind of regret, but it's an okay deck, but it's not my favorite deck. But anyways, it doesn't seem to be too many issues at the moment. Lastly, last but not least, Altius Management, aka Ednas. I have to give a thumb up. It's a good update. Last update, of course, was July 2013 on the project. However, And actually, he logged in May 2016. He was sued. He did have this lawsuit, which cost him like $25,000. And the deck itself actually ended up being relaunched by Roman Kotiv and More Arts. They produced 3 different versions, which I ended up getting, which upset me a little bit because after all of that, the deck being relaunched and getting that relaunched deck, they actually ended up fulfilling the Bicycle Asylum decks. That's what it is, the Bicycle Asylum deck. So he lost the court battle, and then after that, he actually delivered the product. So apparently he's either been sitting on these decks for 3 years, or he finally just decided after getting sued in the court to go and actually produce the decks and get them delivered. But needless to say, I was shocked when I got the Bicycle Asylum deck in the mail. I was like, whoa, really? But that's actually a good update. That's the only good update, really, out of all of these. Most of them, still waiting. Some of them I probably will never see because of videos like this. But I could care less. As long as I prevent people from getting screwed over in the future, they can keep the decks. I mean, I get them elsewhere anyways if I want them and need them. And that's what I did. Anyway, it's been a long video. I gotta go. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, there will be no more scams on Kickstarter. We'll see.